Hey Mindset Community, Dr. Ellen here, coming to you today with your next workout. All right, today is called The Process. So I want you to give yourself a little bit of kindness today because some of the things that we're gonna do, you might not be good at, okay? And that's okay. Learning these movements, these movement principles, and these movement patterns is a process, and it's going to take some time to improve with that. But in addition to it, even if you are a master, even if you've been doing this 20 years like I have, you can still get better. There's an amazing research study about Usain Bolt, and he's the fastest man in the world. And they put these really cool sensors on him and watched him run and put basically his force vectors and angles and things like that into a mathematical equation and figured that they could shave a second off of his 100-meter dash time. Proportionally speaking, that's ridiculously amazing to think that somebody like him can get even better. So if Usain Bolt can get better, so can you, so can I. So this is a process, and be kind to yourself. The health kind of question is not a yes or no question. It is a continuum and it is a journey, one that never ends. So if you think of yourself as unhealthy or healthy, that would be binary, meaning yes or no, or good or bad. Just realize there are things that take you toward better health, and there are things that take you away from better health. But it doesn't have to hold any more weight than that. So this whole journey of life, this whole journey of health is a process. So give yourself kind self-talk because this is going to take time. All right? So as a process, it's got to begin. It's got to get started in order to show change. So we're going to start with a 30-second warm-up of multiple different exercises, okay? So I'm going to start, our timer is going to count down in 10 seconds. We're going to be in either jogging or walking in place. You're going to hear a 3, 2, 1 beep, and we're going to start jogging in place right now, okay? You can jog or you can walk, whatever you would like. Whatever is most comfortable for you. But if you are jogging, I want very soft feet, relaxed arms, and even relaxed jaw. I'm gonna keep talking, but I want you to be aware of your breathing as we're starting to increase your heart rate. You still at this point should be able to breathe through your nose and out your mouth. The next exercise is called a dragon walk. You're in a plank. Bring your foot upwards towards your hand. If you can, drop your pelvis when you do it. From the side, it looks like such. After this, we're coming back up. There we go. All right, next one, we're gonna do a little bit of high knees or marching in place. So you can march, or you can high knee it. Heart rate should be coming up a little bit. Nice soft landings. If you need to, walk it out. Get those knees nice and high. If you can, get those arms involved. We would like that. Next one is called butt kicks. You can walk your butt kicks. Knees want to stay together. You can walk it, or you can jog it. Good job, nice soft feet, nice soft landings. 5 about seconds. All right, next we're gonna come back to running or marching in place. I'm going to choose the marching one so I can breathe because I got to be able to talk to you guys. But if you can, get that heart rate up, start running in place. Okay, soft feet again, relaxed hands, relaxed jaw. You might not be able to breathe through your nose anymore, and that's okay. Still keep that jaw relaxed. Okay, we're going back to our dragon march. So hands coming up, there should be foot that's coming up way towards our hand, like that, okay? Alternating side, get your foot up and then drop your pelvis. Foot up, drop your pelvis. Foot up, drop your pelvis. alternating. And keep breathing. Good. Next one is that high knees again. Like such. If you can't go fast, bring those knees up to your chest. But if you can, start pushing yourself a little bit. Get that heart rate going, respiratory rate going. All of the above, start working hard. Good job, 5 seconds. Last one is butt kicks. Try to keep knees together. Squeeze the hamstrings and bring your heel towards your butt. Good job. 15 seconds. Almost done, nice soft feet. Almost there. 5 seconds. Good job. Should be nice and warm now. Now I want you to go ahead and grab a broomstick. Stop our timer there. Whatever broomstick you got in the house. Could be a mop, could be a broom, golf club, baseball bat. Doesn't really matter to me. Whatever you want. So let's, now that our tissues are a little warmer, let's start working on our mobility. So hands are going to be just wider than shoulder width apart. And I want you to lift up and down. Coming up and down. Keep going. When you lift, just take the range of motion from your shoulders. We should not see an arching of the back. That would violate our spine first rule. You'd be surprised how little time we spend with our arms over our head. And so if we don't do it, we're going to lose it. Okay? Now go wide. Get those arms up and over. Now you might find you get a lot more range of motion and you might even be able to go all the way around. As long as it's pain-free, I'm okay with that. Go ahead and come all the way over. Good. You'll probably get a nice stretch in your chest and in your shoulders. Good job. We're going to do that 2 more times. 1 and 2. Good. Next one is we're going to go right behind our head. And I want you to have palms facing towards me. You're going to slide your hands out and in. Out and in. Keep those palms up. Good. Start to feel a little bit of that burn in the shoulders, but it should be very minimal. You may feel some tightness in the shoulders, shoulder blades, and in the chest. And that's good. We're going to do that about 3 more times. Here we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. Good. So that is our warm-up. All right? For our mobility section, you actually just need a little bit of space around you. Nothing too dramatic. So the first one is called the soldier march. You're going to reach your right leg straight forward to an outstretched left hand. So it'll look like this. And you can do this in place, or if you've got a hallway, you can go ahead and walk down there. But you're going to do about 20 on each side, as we're showing here. Something I want you to note is the view from the side. You should not be taking motion from your back. So if you have to do this, you can really see my lumbar spine and my thoracic spine flex. Don't do that. We don't want to take motion from our spine, right? That's not allowed. So keep the motion pure and just feel the pressure to lift in the thigh and in the hip, a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings, maybe in the calf, on the back. So that should be about 20 for you. The next one is called a knee hug. So you're going to hug that knee up to the same shoulder, okay? And then do that on both sides. If you have a little trouble with balance, you can go on a wall or a countertop or a chair. But either way, I want you to pull that leg up as high as you can. 20 times, so that's 10 times each side. Just like so. Keep going. I'm probably a little bit behind you guys, but that's all right. Get that up there. Really open up those hips. We're going to need that, especially if you've been sitting too much lately or at your job. Pull that up there. Let's just do one more each side. Very good, opening that up. Okay, the next one. You can hold your broomstick, anything like that if you want again. You don't have to, but you can if you got it. All right, then the next one, with rotation, you're either gonna hold it behind your head, or if you're rotating on your own, just hold your hands like so. Or you can do it in the prayer position. Whatever you want, just some connection here, okay? I'm gonna do mine with the stick. It's a little bit harder. So you're gonna step back into a lunge. So let's talk about that position for a second. You'll notice my knee is outside of my foot. That's on purpose. And then my knee is also behind my toe. So I want you to think vertical shin, knee is outside of my foot. Okay? So step one, lunge. Step two, rotate over your front leg. This does not have to be very deep. This is more so about exploring the range of motion you have today. It might be different. If it's at 5:30 in the morning, my mobility is a lot different than 5:30 at night. Again, we're doing about 20 total, 10 each side or so. Again, you're probably way ahead of me, which is good. Whoop. A little bit of balance. Good, let's do one more each side. Very good. Okay, now you're going to take that same position either with your PVC pipe, or you can even hold your hands like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to step back again into that lunge and press up as we sink our body. So our body is going to elongate and stretch both directions at the same time. So as I press up, I'm going to sink into that lunge. Okay, press up and sink. We're maintaining the same angles. Knee is outside of the foot, shin is still vertical, knee is staying behind the toe. Okay, keep going. So step back, press up and sink down. Press up and sink down at the same time. Okay, you guys, let's try one more on each side, just because I am a little bit behind you, but we should be close to about 10 each side. Okay, very good. The last thing we're going to do is called the inchworm. So if anybody's done this one before, it's actually harder than it sounds. So you're going to start in a plank. I'm going to show you from kind of this side angle. Start from a plank, and you're going to inch your toes up as far as you can. And then when you can't go anymore, if you've got space, you walk your hands. If you don't, you walk your feet back down to your plank. Inch them back up. Get a real good stretch of your hamstrings, calves. And then you walk them back down. Coming up again. Real good stretch. Walk them back down. Let's do two more, because this one's pretty hard. Coming back down. One more. Good. So that is our warm-up. Woo! Everybody's like, whoa, can I be done now? Heck no. 15 minutes in and you're nice and toasty. All right, so let's talk about our WOD. WOD stands for workout of the day. So we're gonna do 40 seconds of work, 5 seconds of rest. of about 5 different exercises. Okay, so let's go over those exercises first. The first one is called the bottom squat. So we've talked a little bit in the first video about how to sequence your engines, and we really want to focus on utilizing your hip. So that is the main attention we have for all of these 5 positions. Okay, so with the squat, the bottom squat is you're going to lead with your hip. Your hip is going to drive back as if you're sitting into a chair that's a little bit too far for you. So you're going to drive it back, pulse at the bottom, and come back up. Drive your hips back. I didn't do it there. Let me try again. Drive your hips back, pulse, stand back up. Hips back, pulse, stand back up. From the front, you'll see my knees stay outside of my feet. Okay, my legs are actually what we call screwed into the ground. That'll come in a later video where we talk about torque. But for now, hips out, knees outside of my feet, pulse and come back up. Outside of my feet, pulse, come back up. So that first exercise we'll do for 40 seconds, then we get a 5-second rest. It ain't much. Then we're gonna go to something called the runner's pose. All right, so in this position, my hips are back, because that helps me load my primary engine, while I'm gonna pump my other leg. Okay, it doesn't look hard, but it builds, just so you know. If you need a little bit of stability, go to the wall. Okay, if you don't, you can do the touchdown, which is like a level 2. Level 3 is no touch. Just working on that stability. You'll notice I have very little movement in the stance leg. I have a lot of movement in my swing leg. But those alignments stay. Foot is straight, knee stays behind the toe, hip stays behind the knee. Okay? Runner's pose. All right, the last one is called the single leg heel grab. So with this one, you're gonna stay in that similar position. Again, the hip is gonna be that driver, so the hip's gonna come way out as I slide my hands down the front of my leg to grab my heel. Then to stand up, I'm gonna drive my hip forward like such. But you'll notice my hip's going forward on the way up, and then my hip goes backwards on the way down. So you should feel this quite a bit in this hamstring butt complex up here and loading the posterior chain, which is the hip complex. Okay? So really making sure if you need to, put your foot down here. It's for balance only. It does not shift. We do not shift any weight to that back leg, however. It stays on the front leg. Touch the heel, stand back up. Touch the heel, stand back up. You'll notice my knee does not go forward. This is not this movement. I don't want that. I want hip. So I want the hip to come back and drive backwards and forwards. Okay, so we have a bottom squat, runner's pose, and then we have the heel grab. This is going to get you very in touch with that hip complex. That's the goal and the focus of today. All right, so I'm gonna set our timer here. Whew, I'm feeling this. You guys ready for this? I am. I'm pretty excited. We're gonna try 2 rounds of this so that we make sure to give people a good workout, safe workout, and get you in touch with that butt. All right? So if you have questions, as usual, obviously you can't ask them right now to me, but you can always shoot me an email. We'd love to know, because chances are if you have a question, so does other people. All right? So we got our 10-second countdown. We are starting at bottom squats. Remembering knees outside of the feet. 2, 1, and we're going. Pulse it, stand back up. Come down, pulse it, stand back up. If you can't go this low, I don't care. I just care that you're still moving, and I care that your knees are not going over your toes, and your hips are coming back. But could you not put a chair back here, kiss the chair, and stand back up? Or just get in and out of a chair? That's the same thing as a squat, right? If you want a more difficult version, you could hold a weight, bottoms up. That would be fine. You'll watch and you'll notice a lot of hip action. Good. Okay, 5 seconds and we're going into runner's pose. We're moving the right, balancing left. Okay, here we go. For 40 seconds. Use that wall if you need it. If you don't, Let's go. Okay, tapping that foot, running in place, drawing your attention to that stance leg glute and hamstring. Make it tight, make it fast, keep moving. Take a check on your stance foot. Make sure it's pointing straight ahead and right at the TV or your laptop or your phone, whatever you want. 2, 1, switch legs, okay? Woo! Balancing on the other foot, pumping the opposite. Use your hands if you can. Wall if you need. And if you're really good, don't put it down at all. And then don't move your stance leg. Really balance. Keep that hip, that knee, and that foot in a line. Should not look like that line. That would be bad. We want good alignment. Okay, you're doing great. After this, we're gonna grab heel. I'm gonna show you from the side so you can really look at that hip angle. Okay, we're bouncing left. Toe is down on the right. Slide the hands down the front. Grab the heel. Touch it, come back up. Touch it, come back up. Lots of hip action. Knee stays behind the toe. Squeeze that left glute, that left hamstring to come up. Should be getting pretty warm now. Almost there for 3 seconds. Switch sides. I'm gonna go straight on so you can see that angle now. Okay, so leg in the back, really doing that hip drive, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. If you're feeling a little awkward, change the position of that back foot. Maybe slide it in a little bit or out a little bit. See if you can find the right place based on your hip range of motion, but still abiding by those rules, right? Knee is behind the toe, it's outside of the foot, and my hip is behind my knee, okay? Really reaching back with that right hip. Woo! Let's do it again. Okay, round 2, bottom squats, go. All right, so hips are coming back. Bounce it, stand back up. Bounce it, and up. Keep going, guys. Let me show you from the front. Knee outside of the feet, all right? Hips are coming way back. Something else we'll talk about in the future is our spine here. It does not need to be vertical, but it does need to be straight. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the future. Less than 10. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, now we've got runner's pose. So let's balance on our left, pump right, okay? Pump it. Remember, if you need a wall, grab a wall. If you need a dog, child, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just keep moving. Where's your knee? Is your foot pointing straight ahead? It should be. Okay, you still pumping? 15 seconds. Keep going. Pump that leg. Pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. Keep going. I know it burns. 5 seconds. 2, 1, switch. Okay, other side in 5 seconds. Remember, you're doing awesome. Be kind to yourself. Do what you can. You're almost there. This is the last time we gotta do this darn runner's pose. After this, we just gotta touch our heel a bunch of times, that's it. No big deal. My knee, where is it? It's outside of my ankle, right? My knee is behind my toes. My hip is way out the back. And my glutes, they're kind of on fire. That's good. I don't have anywhere else to be today. Just here with you. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. All right, switch. We're bouncing left. We're touching left heel. Get that right foot out a little bit in the back, making sure we drive our hips behind us. Another way to think about this is to keep your shoulders over your toes, but no further. So my hips are going back, my shoulders are going over my toes, and our shins are staying fairly vertical. Almost done. Whoever thought this would be this hard, right? Hips back, hips forward. Hips back, hips forward. Back and forward. You're doing great. 5 seconds. Woo! Good job. Other leg. Okay. Back leg's out. Hips are driving back. Touch that heel. If you can't touch the heel, that's fine. Touch the knee. It doesn't matter to me. That's fine. Okay, you can also touch the shin. Then as you get better, after this process, maybe after you open your hips more, you'll be able to touch that ankle. That's okay. Great job. 12 seconds. Hips back and forward, back and forward. Back and forward, right? Good job. Woo! All right, catch your breath. Get a little bit of water if you need it. I'm so proud of you. You're doing an amazing job. All right, pause for a second. Go get some water. Go relax. Go catch your breath. And then when you're ready, come back and lay down on the ground. You're gonna be on your back with your legs bent. Okay? Just gonna tilt this down so you can see us a little better. So lay down on your back, knees bent, like so. Let your heart rate start to slow. And when you're ready, one hand goes on your tummy, the other hand goes on your heart. And we're going to talk connection breath here and do a little bit of correctives and some cool down and some connection. Breath is one of the most powerful tools that we have to control our nervous system, our cortisol levels, and our overall emotional stress. So right now, exercise, it is a stressor. It's a good stressor. But it's important to teach your body the difference between stress. Because some stress is not helpful to our system. And exercise is wonderful for our system, but sometimes it needs to be redefined. So in this moment, close your eyes and start to tell your body you're home and you're safe and you're okay. You're home and you're safe and you're okay. And any response to today's exercises and workouts, it's okay. It's information so that you can figure out how you want to strategize the next workout and how much you want to push yourself, how much you want to slow down, places you need to focus your attention on. Because right now your body's giving you a ton of feedback. And a lot of times this is when we don't listen. So now connecting in with your breath, the hand on your heart, I don't want it to move. I want you to breathe in and fill your stomach and abdomen with air. As you exhale, it will just passively lower. On your next breath, visualize filling a water balloon out of a sink. The water just gently fills the space And the balloon just gently expands around it. But by no means is the faucet on max and it's being forced into the balloon. It's a gentle, slow fill. That's what I want your abdomen to feel like when you breathe in. Breathe in through the nose. Your diaphragm should lower and your abdomen should fill with air. As you exhale, your stomach just passively retracts. You should feel your heart rate and your breathing rate significantly slower now. As you're able, I want you to float both hands to the ceiling, palms facing each other. And continue to breathe using that abdomen. Take 2 more breaths here. Now, if you are ready, try to synchronize your breath with your arm movement. So as you inhale, your left arm will float overhead. Exhale, it will return. Inhale, float overhead. Exhale, return. Do 3 more on that same arm. Trying to focus your inhale to keep the belly breathing. One more time. Good. Other side. Doing 5. Inhale, float overhead. Exhale, return. Inhale, float overhead. Exhale, return. Keeping that attention on the belly. Two more. Awesome job, everybody. Your body should be pretty calm. Your nervous system should be quiet. Your breath and your heart rate should be lower. I want you to hold that same position, almost like you were holding a big egg, in that nice rounded position. And then one at a time, I want you to bring your legs so they are upward as well. You'll notice I have a slight bend in my knee, and my knees are slightly rotated outward. So they're in what we call external rotation. So now in this position, it's going to make it harder to breathe. This is a perfect metaphor for life sometimes. Sometimes it's hard, and you still have to find a way to center and do things well. So close your eyes, focus on that breath, breathe in, and let your stomach fill with air. It's not going to be very big, and that's okay. Exhale, it should retract, but still find some space. If you're having trouble keeping your back flat, put a leg down and continue. if you can, leave them up. Now begin to add movement. So if you can, leave both legs up. If you can't, lower your right to the floor. You're going to float your left hand skyward, overhead, on your next inhale. Exhale, return. Do 5. I lost count. I think I got one more. Good. Either you had both legs up or the right one was down, but if you can, leave them both up for the next, or lower the left. Right hand floats overhead on your next inhale. Exhale, returns. You know, give me 5. I'm going to try both. Very good. One at a time, lower your legs back down. And then as you're able, bring them in together to your chest. And just rock. You can kind of rock side to side. Just explore any resistance you have in this position. Should just feel very comfortable. Try pulling a little bit more. Rocking a little bit more. All is good. So, you did it. You finished your first day. I'm so proud of you. Remember, this is a process. You are not supposed to be an expert here. Be gentle and kind to yourself, because this was wonderful. And you did it. So a little quote for you, okay? The process is where you learn. The process is where you grow. The process is where you develop character and find out who you are. It's the only path to your goals. The process is the point. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like to stick around for just another few more minutes, I'm going to talk to you about something called the hip hinge. And this is going to be a very important skill that you're going to need to learn in the future videos. So if you don't have time right now, that's okay. Come on back. All these videos are here for your reference. But this is something that I think you will really, really appreciate for not only working out, but for your daily life and any lifting movements you have to do, whether you're a mama and you do it with your kiddos, or you're lifting groceries, anything like that. So all you're gonna need is that broomstick again, a mop, baseball bat, golf club, whatever you got, doesn't matter to me. So go grab that and make your way back and get ready. Get a little bit of water if you need to after that workout, but otherwise, come on back and we'll get going. Okay, so now we have our PVC pipes, or your sticks. You're gonna put that along your spine, okay? You should have 3 contact points here. Your head, your mid-back, that's called your thoracic spine, and then your butt, okay? So if we keep those 3 contact points in place on your body, then we will know we're not changing positions. So we talked about the spine first rule and that we don't want to change segmental positions of your vertebrae, right? So if we practice loading the hip using this stick, we'll know we're not putting the load in our spine. Because if at any point you are having pain in your back while you're doing things, that's your body's feedback telling you there's load there when it shouldn't be. So if I face sideways versus the camera, you're going to see those 3 contact points. And then if I bend and keep those 3 contact points, then you know the bend has happened at my hips. So this is a very important scenario. I mentioned that the back needs to be straight, but it does not need to be vertical, and this is exactly what I meant. All right, so back is straight, it is not vertical. So as I go, you'll notice my hips translate backwards behind my feet, and my shoulders are in line, almost if I had a plumb line with my toes. So this is a very powerful position, and I should feel my hamstrings and my buttocks loading here. Because the hip hinge is the primary way we learn to load the posterior chain. Why is that important? Because that keeps forces away from your spine, and as well, it keeps it in our primary engine. So if you haven't listened to that first introductory video, do it now because it'll make more sense. So remember, we want to keep force away from our spine. That's a stabilizer. We want to keep force on our primary engine, when in the lower half, that would be your hips. So by blocking the spine with your stick, you are keeping your spine stable, and you are hip hinging or loading the hips in order to keep that force in the safest way possible. Okay? So if you have more questions on that, reach out. But just so you know, we love you more than you know, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.